DJs always say that. Oh, it's stupid. If we could hear you answering back. Don't all shout at once. 1844 is the year. It's stuff time.
Today, much more stuff going on.
Did you know that today the motor car was born in 1844? Carl Benz discovered it. He started making gas engines in 1880, fell in love with the idea of a belt-driven horseless carriage, funny thing to fall in love with, and finally came up with the first ever petrol car, a three-wheeler capable of between 8.5 and 10 miles an hour. The first model appeared in Mannheim in Germany in 1885, and the first saleable version was ready 2 years later. One day his wife stole it from him and set out on a joyride. When a wire short-circuited, she had the presence of mind to insulate it with her garter. And women have been doing funny things in cars ever since. Mr. Benz, however, had trouble with the speed limit, so he invited a government minister to take a ride with him, having carefully arranged beforehand for a milkman to overtake him in a horse and cart. When the minister said, "Go faster, Benz," Benz said, "I can't, it's illegal, minister," and the minister insisted, and the problem was solved.
Well, that's about it, Stuff fans. We'll have more for you at another time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, what?
An associated multinational production.
Well, sir, I've saved the universe again.
The whole nation is grateful.
Well, Your Majesty, I'd just like to say thank you for presenting me with this medal.
It gives me the greatest pleasure.
He's the only man for the job.
How can one man be so handsome?
Kremen, you must save us.
Captain Elvis Brandenburg Kremen here.
He's so handsome.
My organization, Star Corps, is dedicated to doing things that bring a lump to your throat and send a shiver up your doobry. Kremen of the Star Corps. Hi, kids. I'm Captain Kremen, the first man to swim the English Channel. Lengthwise.
Here's the story so far. As the Troll 1 hovered over the Krell planet, Zano, king of the Krells, gurgles a message to Kremen.
You are being observed. State your business immediately.
Tune me into him, Gonad.
Yes, Captain.
Greetings, I am Kremen of planet Earth.
Kremen?
Uh-huh.
Elvis Brandenburg Kremen?
That's me. Listen, we must meet. I must talk peace with you.
Peace? I'll send a craft up to bring you down to the surface. Don't forget to bring your baggage with you.
No, I won't forget to bring Carla. Seconds later, a Krell travel pod pulled alongside our ship. The hatch opened, and Carla and I stepped into the pod. As we left, I heard the computer's last words ringing in my ears.
Danger, 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 danger.
As the Krell pod slowly left the side of our ship, I settled down for the short journey to the surface. I was pleasantly surprised to see Carla busying about amongst the equipment. It gives me great confidence to see you staring into that radar screen, Carla. Are you plotting our position?
No, I'm fixing my makeup.
Oh.
I want to look my best and feel full of confidence when we're facing those beast fiends.
Oh, there's no need to worry, my little space sylph. I told Gonad to pack this case here full of lasers, phasers, zilch guns, and Kronak agony spray.
What, this case?
Yep.
This empty case here?
Yeah. What?
It's empty.
But it can't be. You realize what this means?
No, what does it mean?
This means we're going into the mouth of hell with no weapons! I pulled out my ship-to-ship communitron. Kremen to Gonad! Kremen to Gonad!
Hi, Captain. Gonad here.
Gonad, you've made a very stupid mistake.
Well, did you ever hear anyone make a clever mistake?
You forgot to pack the weapons!
Well, you know, I knew there was something I meant to do when I got up this morning.
Carla, remind me if we ever get back to the ship to rearrange Gonad's limbs.
Oh, Captain,
What?
this is only a minor setback for a fearless crusader like you.
Well,
A solid sheet of muscle.
I don't know,
And the first man to go over Niagara Falls on roller skates.
she smiled one of her smiles, tossed me a wink, cocked me a snook, and shot me a glance. Having been shot, tossed, and cocked, I grabbed my tranquilizer ray. Oh, that's better. But how can we face those evil swine hunts without guns? It's sheer madness. They've no scruples. They'll shred us without thinking twice.
I know what you mean. The day I first saw a Krell was the turning point of my stomach.
The ship shuddered as we entered through the layer of thick green mist surrounding the planet. Thousands of little colored lights flickered as the automatic landing procedure throbbed into action.
Captain, look!
What?
The televiewer screen!
The interference cleared, and there on the screen was the evil, twisted face of Zarno, king of the Krells.
Oh my God!
His even teeth parted in a grin. The odd ones stayed where they were.
Welcome to my kingdom, Earthlings.
Don't forget, Zarno, we came to talk peace.
Oh, certainly, Captain. We'll talk lots and lots of peace.
Oh, good.
Before we kill you both.
What will happen next? Tune in tomorrow at the same time and find out in Kremen of the Star Corps.
The answer. And now history moment time. A piece of John Lennon. So get your tape recorders out. He just walked into an American station during one of their tours, WWWW, and they said, we're going to play an advert for Ringo's album, and then would you read this advert for some club called A Joint in the Woods, somewhere up in New York State? And he said, yes, all right then.
Is that Ringo Starr advertising his new album Goodnight Vienna on Apple Records and Tapes? It certainly is, John. Wow, you look so wonderful. Thank you.
It's going to Goodnight Vienna. Only you can make this world seem right.
Goodnight Vienna on Apple Records and Tapes.
Thanks, John.
It's a pleasure, Ringo. Or you could get my album instead, but that's a matter of choice. Tonight at the Joint in the Woods, guess who's there? It's ladies' night. They won't like that. Woman's night. Featuring the exciting 8-piece all-female group, ISIS, or ISIS, depending where you come from. All females admitted at half price. Oh, good. Well, Bowie can get in. Also, dance and party with Lock, Stock and Barrel. That probably is a group because it's in inverted commas. Coming next Wednesday, October the 2nd, to the Joint in the Woods. Nothing like a joint in the woods, he says, losing his green card possibilities in one blow. T-Rex on Friday. Now, that's a good band. Now, he's by a couple of his records. He's getting fat with worry. On Friday, October the 4th, Martha Reeves. She's great. And Saturday, October the 5th, Buzzy Linhart. She's great, too. Joint in the Woods. Parsippany, New Jersey, where the stars shine. All right. We're not going to bother with the weather. Just look out of the window. Oh, you want the weather? The weather in Central Park is still there.
Single, which is called Don't You, on MCA Records and Tapes. Two history moments now. The first ever recording made of the Beatles. Somebody got their grundig out in the Cavern Club and recorded their first ever song. It's horrible. It's called Gonna Sit Right Down and Cry Over You. You might just be able to hear it. Well, there you go, that was it. Pretty grotty. But I don't know whether you were over there. I used to go there for lunch sessions when they were on stage, and the excitement was stunning. You couldn't capture it on tape because the acoustics were just dreadful. But there you go. If you wanted that for your Grundig, you've now got it. Oh, wasn't that just pretty? Elton John and Elton's song off his greatest love songs, Silver Disc. Because that wasn't brought to you on plastic. That was brought to you on digitally encoded silver disc, ladies and gentlemen, read by a laser beam.
Wow, that's amazing.
Pretty damn trendy here on Radio 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's 5 minutes to 12 o'clock. It's cereal time.
And now, a mammoth moment in history as we bring you...
The greatest story in the universe.
Kremen of the Star Corps.
Yes, folks, it's the only space cereal in the world with Queen Anne legs.
Here's Kremen.
Hi, kids. You remember last time my crew and I, whilst wandering around in space one day, discovered a planet the size of Earth, but entirely made of crude oil. You realize, of course, don't you, Carla, that this discovery means the end of all Earth's energy problems for as long as 200 years.
Oh.
Or 6 Les Dawson jokes, whichever comes sooner.
I feel another OBE coming on, Captain.
Yeah, you know I'm gonna have to grow another bit of me to pin it on. I sauntered over to my giant GLX 104 Series 3 macro computer and twiddled a random knob. Oh, sorry. Hey, listen, computer. We gotta get that planet back to Earth. What do you suggest?
Why not throw a tractor beam around it, then we can tow it back?
Great idea! Hey, what a breakthrough in Earth's energy crisis, everybody! A whole planet full of oil! Carla,
Yeah?
get the champagne out!
We're out of champagne.
Okay, get the Tizer out! Hey, Doc.
Yeah, Captain?
How much oil do you think there is on this planet?
Oh, about a million tons.
Wow! That's more oil than Ronald Reagan uses on his hair in a week. Later on that day, I was in my cabin berating a crew member. Now, Thrinman, I've told you before about wetting the bed.
But, Captain...
I will not have any person associated with me doing such a thing.
But, Captain...
No, Thrinman, no excuses. You're a disgrace.
But, Captain, a lot of people wet the bed.
From the top of the wardrobe?
Oh, Captain.
What is it, Noodle Pie?
We're just coming within radio range of Earth.
Oh, good. Doc.
Ja, mein Liebchen?
I want you to get me the president on the space phone. He must know as soon as possible of this glorious find.
Right away.
Yes, sir. That's right. It's about the size of Earth, and it's on the way.
Aye, that's wonderful news, Kremen. Once again, the wheels of industry can begin to turn, and people will be able to drive their cars again.
Oh, by the way, sir, how much is a gallon of petrol these days?
Oh, it's ridiculous. I tried to take out a mortgage to fill my car last week, and the bank turned me down. And I'm the president.
Well, never fear, sir. We should be home in about 4 crotons. By the way, where shall I put it?
But what?
The oil planet.
Oh, stick it behind the moon so it won't mess up the sky.
Okay, sir. Kremen over and out.
Well, won't be long now before we're home.
You know, I can't wait to get home and see Herman, my pet tortoise.
You've got a tortoise?
Well, I thought I'd make a change from having a dog. There's only one problem, though.
What's that?
It takes 6 hours to fetch my slippers. However, 500 million light years away in an unknown quadrant of space.
Commander Sargo, guess what is it? Our senses indicate that one of our smaller planets has been wrenched out of its orbit by a craft of unknown origin and is being towed to a distant galaxy. Send a probe to investigate and destroy. Your wish is made manifest.
Okay, now let me see, computer. I'll have filet entrecôte du boeuf with pommes frites, followed by parfait de creme brulee, coffee and a cigar.
Don't rush me. I've only got 6 pairs of hands.
So that explains why you've spent the last week at the manicurist's.
Captain.
Yes, my little digital dumpling?
I got a funny feeling that this mission's going a little too successfully, you know.
My little cosmic chickadee was right. Little did we know that at that very moment, a craft 200 times the size of us and bristling with weapons was on its way to reduce us to dust.
What will happen next? Tune in tomorrow at the same time and find out in Kremen of the Star Corps.
It doesn't use a needle, this machine. It uses a laser beam. And I was in a laser-encrusted place the other day in a disco that did a laser display. And I met the guy who owned the place, and I said, why do you only have the lasers on for a short while? And he said, well, according to the GLC, we can only put them on for 40 minutes because we're terrified of slicing people in half on the dance floor. Because I was reading in my booklet, it said, this machine uses a laser device. Do not open the lid or there's radiation exposure. So if you buy one, leave it alone. Great sound, though. Ooh. Mind you, sound hasn't always been this great. Of course, we had crackly discs, and before that we had cylinders made out of beeswax and things. And the man who invented that was called Mr. Edison. And his gramophone is having a birthday this week. 88 years old it is. And here's one of the very first recordings ever made. It's a friend of Mr. Edison's who listened to the device and sent him a letter saying how great it was. But he didn't just send a letter. He sent a record. And here it is.
Yeah, Mr. Edison, for myself, I can only say...
What's he saying? For those of you with ears, I've managed to decode what he's saying. He's saying, Dear Mr. Edison, for myself, I can only say that I am astonished and somewhat terrified at the result of this evening's experiment. Astonished at the wonderful form you have developed, and terrified at the thought that so much hideous and bad music will be put on records forever. It's actually what he said. And of course he's right, because there is hideous stuff on record, and And then what did you do, O'Jewel and Sand?
We opened this bijou law firm. I'll never forget the woe-begone eek of our first client as he sat in our chambers and unburdened himself.
Can you help me? I've erred.
Well, we've all erred, darling. I mean, it's common knowledge, isn't it? Isn't it, Jules?
Oh. Will you take my case?
Well, it depends on what it is. I mean, we've got a criminal practice that takes up most of our time.
Yes, but apart from that, I need legal advice.
Well, what is it you've done?
I don't like to say.
Oh, come on, you can tell us.
Come on.
Yes, I mean, Sand and me have handled the most bizarre briefs, haven't we? Nothing can shock us.
Well, all right. Look, here it is on this charge sheet.
Let's have a bard. Oh, June, look at this. Look at this, June. Oh.
Oh. He never.
He did. That's written down here.
But, I mean, in broad daylight.
Broad daylight.
Outside Fortnum and Mason. Aren't you ashamed?
Yes, but it's only a parking offence.
Only? They're very hot on that. What do you think, Joe?
Well, I recommend we try per verulium ad camphorum actus injuria linctus est.
That is your actual Latin.
What does it mean?
I don't know. Got it off a bottle of Ostrom. Sounds good, though, doesn't it? Now, then, how should we tackle it, Sand?
I think we should plead insanity.
Yes, but what about him?
Oh, him, I'll defend him. I'll do my speech for the defence. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, go on, Sand. Yes, do you please, Sand. Always an eloquent pleader.
I am. I'm a very eloquent pleader.
Oh.
Homies and Polonies of the jury. Ah, varder well the eek of this poor one that stands before you. Look at him, his lally's trembling. Make him tremble. He has his share of guilt, but who is without it?
Who?
We all have had a bit.
Everyone.
We've all, everyone. We have our share. His only crime was he loved not wisely but too well. The kid never had a chance, born on the wrong side of the track. Forced to take in washing. Society drove him to a life of vice. It's not this Omi who's on trial. It's all of us.
Go on now. Get at it. Go on, get it out.
We made him what he is, without hope, without love, without Latin. Give him a chance. Give him a chance to become a useful citizen again, a housewife and a mother. So that he can look the world in the face and say, I named this ship Ark Royal.
Now, back to the records.
by Mary Jane Girls. It's 8 minutes to 1, still grey but fiddly-dee, and LBC's birthday. Independent Radio News, it's almost, what time is it? Almost 1 o'clock, and here's the news. Where's the news? Oh my God. That's the sort of thing that's always happening on LBC. Makes it a very entertaining station, because in between the real stuff, they have goofs as well. If you've got any, send them to us. We'd like to celebrate on live on the air. We're not proud. Right, here we go with Fanfare Time. Independent Radio News, it's almost 1 o'clock and we've found the news. I'll just adjust the microphone here. Oh, Christ. Sorry. Back to the BBC. Hello, BBC here, the station that does it right sometimes. And we have now Scrumble Amongst the Oldies time. No, that's not it. No, that's not it either. Eureka! Here it is. An ELO track that's never been broadcast before. It was recorded a few years ago, but they decided never to release it. It's a bit scrotty in parts because they haven't sort of polished it into perfection. But a collector's item nevertheless.